All right, folks, in our last session, Saxi decided it was high time to test the limits of his new arcane cannon. After what we'll generously call deliberation, he aimed at what he thought was a conveniently vacant tower. Well, as fate would have it, vacant was a bit of an overstatement. In a grand display of firepower, Saxi managed to do more than just a grandiose display of destruction, but he also inadvertently introduced an unsuspecting bystander to about 300 million volts, throwing him off the tower and sending him tumbling to his death. Luckily for Saxi's conscience, this wasn't just some random hermit enjoying the view, he was a spy, and thanks to Tronald's new spell, you discovered this spy was reporting back to Lady Alara, a prominent figure on the current Emperor's Council.
I still can't believe our luck there. But like you said, what happens when he doesn't report back to Alara?
Well, I mean, there are two ways this could go, right? Either Lady Alara takes the subtle hint that you're not too keen on being followed and decides to leave you alone out of the goodness of her heart, or she sends more people after us. And let's be honest, the next ones might not be just peeping Toms. They could have a more final objective in mind.
I think it would more likely be the second option, going off what you've told me about her.
Well, of course it would be the second option.
Well, if it was so clear, why did you present us with two?
I don't know. I was trying to be dramatic.
Yeah, Lady Alara doesn't strike me as the type to just roll over when her plans get a little tangled. This whole cat and mouse game she's playing with you, Tronald, it's like she enjoys the chase, and she definitely doesn't seem like someone who takes losing lightly. But here's the thing that's bugging me. If she really wanted you out of the picture, why go for the cloak and dagger approach? Why not just send a whole legion, a mix of troops, casters, and marshals to take you down? I mean, no offense, Tronald, but it's not like we're in the best shape to take on an army right now.
Of course we are. Are you forgetting that I'm a god now?
No, you're not. Stop saying that. Anyway, can you think of any other reason why she would want you alive, Tronald?
No, I can't say I do. My memories of being Lord Tanover come and go as they please. So figuring out Alara's ambitions then or now is like trying to catch smoke with your hands. All I know is that she wants me dead, or at least that's what it seems like. But you're right, there's got to be a reason why she hasn't just crushed us outright. Like, what benefit does my being alive now offer her that wasn't there when I died the first time?
Unless that's exactly the reason why. The fact that you're alive is the key here. Think about it from her perspective. You were supposed to be gone for good, right?
Yep.
Taken out by a blade designed to end you permanently, no coming back.
Yep.
Not even with something as powerful as a wish spell.
Yep.
So imagine her shock when she's out on her casual stroll through Waterdeep, and there you are, just wandering around, very much alive and kicking. That's got to pique her interest, don't you think? I'd bet my last coin that she's burning with curiosity about how you managed to cheat death. She must be dying to know how you pulled it off. That's why she hasn't crushed us yet, because she wants answers. Answers that only you, Tronald, could provide.
Well, the joke's on her, because I have no clue about how exactly I came back, only that I'm back as some sort of clone.
Don't worry, Tronald. If she tries to lay a finger on you, my sword will eat it.
Thanks, buddy, but let's just try and make sure that it doesn't come to that. We're going to have to start being extra vigilant in the coming days for the foreseeable future. If she's planning on making a move, we need to be ahead of the curve.
Do you remember when Vizuriel was talking about this world being rotten and corrupt?
Yeah, what about it?
Nothing really. Just that I'm starting to see what he means, you know? Like, these people in positions of power, 90% of them seem to be only interested in keeping and increasing that power with little care for anyone else.
Well, that's not exactly new information, is it? What's that got to do with anything?
It's just weird, Tronald. Think about how this whole thing started for us. We were just trying to protect a poor part of the town from abductions by a necromancer, right? Simple, straightforward, but then it spiraled into following the tracks of the Obetus organization, dealing with slavers, tangling with goblins, and finally facing that monstrosity Vorastrix. It's like we've been walking a path, and each step takes us deeper into a more complex and darker world. The thing is, I feel like we're on the brink of something bigger, something that goes beyond just good versus evil. We're heading into a realm where the lines are blurred, where the choices we make could have us labeled as the bad guys. It's a strange thought, isn't it? That in fighting against a corrupt system, in trying to do what's right, we might find ourselves painted as villains in someone else's story. It's like we're standing at the edge of a precipice, and the next step could send us plunging into a world where morality isn't black and white, but 1,000 shades of gray.
Take it as it comes, Saxi. That's the only way we can handle this. Sure, things are getting more complicated, and the lines between right and wrong might start to blur. But remember, we've faced every challenge thrown at us so far, and we've come out on top. Whether it's necromancers, slavers, or even a creature like Vorastrix, we've handled it. The key is to stay true to ourselves and our cause. Yes, we might end up in situations where we're painted as the bad guys, but as long as we know we're fighting for what's right, that's all that matters. We can't control how others see us or the narrative they choose to believe. I don't know why you're worrying about that so much all of a sudden.
I don't know. It was just something I was thinking about.
Honestly, the world's opinion of me couldn't matter less. I've been branded the bad guy all my life, so believe me when I say I'm no stranger to that label. But here's the heart of it. The only judgment that truly matters at the end of the day is your own. When you lay your head down to sleep, it's your own thoughts you're left with, your own conscience you have to reckon with. So I say, let the world think what it will. The real test, the true battle, is being able to look at your own reflection and know you've stayed true to what you believe, to who you are. Can you say you're proud of what you've done, of the choices you've made? That's the question that really counts. That's where your true strength lies. Not in the whispers and stares of strangers, but in the steel and honor of your own heart.
Couldn't have said it better myself, buddy. All right then, Joe. I'd like to do a quick search around this tower, both high and low, to see if there are any other items that this guy had on him.
They've probably all been destroyed, Tronald.
Wrong. If he had any magical items on him, they're pretty resilient, so it's very likely they would still be around, just scattered.
I don't know, man. He doesn't seem like the type of guy to have an abundance of magical items on him.
All I'm saying is there's got to be a way he was relaying information back to Lady Alara. Now, we could assume he was doing it the old-fashioned way, maybe using some kind of bird messaging system. But honestly, I find that highly unlikely, especially considering the arcane resources and wealth at Auroros's disposal. It just doesn't add up. More likely, he would have been given some kind of item, a device to report back to her directly. That's where I'd put my money. So I'm going to have a look around for it. If anyone wants to help me out, it would be greatly appreciated. A pair of extra eyes, or a few, could make all the difference in finding whatever he was using.
Yeah, I'll give you a hand with that, Tronald.
Same. I can't disagree with your logic there.
Sure, I'll help with this as well.
Well, it looks like we're all having a gander for it then.
Gobba will help too.
All right, Joe, we all get to searching.
Give me an investigation check with advantage.
Sweet, that's an 18 total.
Nice. With an investigation check of 18, Tronald, your attention to detail pays off. As you sift through the rubble, a peculiar glint catches your eye. Amidst the chaos of broken stones, you spot something that doesn't quite belong. It shimmers slightly, subtly standing out from the rest of the debris. You pick it up for a closer look. Unlike the rough, jagged pieces around it, this stone is smooth and almost unnaturally perfect. Its surface has a lustrous sheen, unlike any ordinary rock. It's clear to you that this is no mere piece of rubble. You've stumbled upon something far more significant.
I frickin' knew it. Right, I want to sit down and cast Identify as a ritual on this thing.
Tronald, as you sit down and begin to cast Identify as a ritual, you place the shimmering stone in front of you. The atmosphere around you shifts to one of quiet concentration. Methodically, you trace arcane symbols in the air, your voice low and steady as you recite the spell's incantations as the rest of you guys watch in silence. As the ritual nears its completion, the stone starts to emit a soft glow, responding to the magic at work. The glow intensifies for a moment, illuminating your focused expression before gradually fading away. As the last traces of the spell dissipate, your eyes open, now filled with understanding. You have unveiled that this particular item is a sending stone. It seems to have 2 charges per day, neither of which have been used today. You are also familiar with that usually sending stones have a specific partner to which they're assigned to, allowing the user of one to communicate only to the holder of the paired stone. But this stone does not have that constraint. It seems to be fully functional, just as the sending spell would be, to communicate with whoever the holder wishes.
Frickin' A, Tronald. That was an incredible suggestion on your behalf to search for that. It's going to be incredibly useful.
Awesome. I was going to head back to Asmo at some point and get a scroll for it so I could learn it, but now I guess I don't need to.
Who's Asmo?
Just some incredibly charismatic guy. If you thought I was charismatic, just wait until you meet charismatic Asmo.
It might be worth giving him a call on your sending stone to see if he knows of the whereabouts of Alara, whether she is in Waterdeep still and whatnot.
That's a good shout, Joe. I want to send a message to Asmo.
Okay, what would you like to say? Remember, you can only use 25 words or less.
Hey, Asmo. I hope you're well. We're fine. Do you know where Lady Alara is currently? It seems we're being hunted by her. She's hot on our heels.
I'm pretty sure that was more than 25 words, buddy.
Yeah, it was. You said 28 words there, Tronald. So that means your message ended with you saying, it seems we're being hunted by her. She's hot.
Damn, whoever this Asmo is, he's gonna think we're a joke now. Oh yeah, this woman's trying to kill us all. P.S. She's hot though.
It'll be fine. I'm sure he will understand that I got cut off.
All right, so a bit of time passes before you hear a voice in your head, Tronald.
Oh, hey, Tronald. Yeah, she came here a couple days ago asking about you. Want me to tell her you called? Yeah, she's pretty hot.
Oh no. Joe, I quickly used the stone again to reply to him. No, absolutely don't do that. She wants to kill us. She had a spy following us. So Saxy killed him with a big-ass cannon.
Dude, why would you say that? There's literally zero context to it. He's going to think we're murderers now.
I think he had a pretty good idea of what we were about when he first met us, Saxy.
It's at this point you hear the voice in your head again, Tronald.
For real? That sounds lit as fuck, man. Anyway, I wish you all the best, but I've got shit to do. Peace out, bitches.
I really do like him.
Well, what did he say?
Well, it seems like he had, what do you youngins call it? Mad respect for how you handled the whole spy situation. Oh, and Alara is still in water deep as far as he knows anyway. She was in his shop a couple of days ago, asking about us.
Oh, well, that's sweet, I guess.
Shall we get a move on then, guys? I mean, I don't want to sound selfish or anything, but my master is literally getting closer and closer to death as we speak. And I'd like to get this whole Goblin situation wrapped up sometime this year.
Yeah, don't get your panties in a twist, Baldy.
That was completely unnecessary.
He's right, though. We should get a move on. How many more days of travel do we have to make before we get there? I think it's something like 2, right?
Yeah, about 2 days.
Okay, well, we've handled everything here.
Have we, though? I mean, there's a charred body just laying there.
Oh my God, I can't believe we almost totally overlooked that. We really should get rid of the evidence, so to speak.
Question. Is that you giving me permission to eat it?
No, Raarh. Even discussing the topic disturbs me. But eating him wouldn't be enough. We would need to get rid of all the evidence, and you'd just leave a bunch of bones there when you're done.
You're making a lot of assumptions right there.
What, you're telling me you eat bones too?
Yeah, I mean, look at this jawline. I've got more muscles in my jaw than Alexandrew has in his legs.
Screw you, man.
How about we just avoid the whole gory scenario of that, and I just use my cantrip Mold Earth a few times to bury him. He might have been a spy, but he was still a living being, most likely with a family, friends, and people who cared for him.
Yeah, that's a good idea, Lunaria. You should do that.
I do that then, Joe.
Lunaria, you step forwards, your hands weaving through the air as you invoke your Mold Earth cantrip. You all watch as the ground around the spy's body begins to churn and shift, the earth responding to her command. Gently, almost reverently, she manipulates the soil, covering the body, burying it beneath the earth. In moments, the ground is smooth again, the spy's final resting place now indistinguishable from the surrounding terrain. With this task completed, you all decide it's time to move on. Your journey takes you through vast grassy plains and rolling hilllands. You traverse verdant fields where the grass sways in the gentle breeze, climb steep hills that offer sweeping views of the land, and navigate narrow paths that wind through dense patches of wildflowers. As the hours pass, the sun travels across the sky, casting long shadows that stretch out over the landscape. You share lighthearted moments, quick meals on the go, and navigate the occasional tricky terrain with teamwork and good spirits. As evening approaches, the sky begins to paint itself in hues of orange and purple, signaling the end of the day. With night starting to close in and the knowledge that tomorrow could bring you face to face with the Goblin camp, what do you want to do?
Well, should we go to sleep now, or should we travel through the night a bit so we're closer?
I don't see any benefit in traveling through the night. I mean, we're spent. We would be better off just having a nice long rest. Then we can head off knowing that if we run into anything unexpected, we will be ready for it.
Yeah, it's been a long day. And even if we managed to get closer to the Goblin camp, we would just be closer for them to spot us or attempt to ambush us as we slept. We would be better off just sleeping here and then moving at a quicker pace tomorrow to get there.
All right then, Joe, I begin casting Tronald's tiny tower. Then we can all get some much-needed rest.
Tronald, as you begin to weave your hands through the air, the familiar words of the incantation fall from your lips. A shimmering energy starts to gather around you, responding to the rhythm of your spell. The air itself seems to pulse and bend as the outline of a small, sturdy tower forms from the magical ether. In just a few moments, the energy solidifies into a tangible structure. Each of you steps inside the tower, immediately enveloped by the warm and inviting atmosphere. The interior, though compact, is surprisingly comfortable, a peaceful haven after the long day's journey. One by one, you find spots to settle down, and it doesn't take long for sleep to claim you, the exhaustion of the day's adventures pulling you into a deep slumber. However, Raarh, your experience is starkly different. As you lie down trying to relax, an unsettling sensation begins to take hold. Whispering voices, barely audible at first, start to echo around you. Initially so faint you question their existence, these whispers gradually grow louder, more insistent, swirling around in the air like a ghostly breeze. The harder you try to ignore them and fall asleep, the more prominent and distracting they become.
Whoever's whispering, can you shut the fuck up?
Nobody responds to you, Raarh. It seems like they're all fast asleep.
Well, it looks like I'm finally going insane then. I suppose it was about time.
At this point, Raarh, the whispers crescendo into something more. A singular, louder whisper cuts through the cacophony, clear and chillingly close. It's accompanied by a faint but unmistakable rattling sound emanating from the sword lying next to you.
You're not going insane.
I don't know. That sounds like something an insane person would hear.
I wish to speak to you, liberator of my shackled spirit.
Wait a second. Am I speaking to my sword right now? That's fucking awesome.
Verily, thou knowest not mine identity. Yet long past, I was ensconced within this steel, thereafter kept in thrall by the fell creature thou hast vanquished. I desire to proffer mine gratitude unto thee.
I'm sorry, sword. You're a little bit difficult to understand. Can you speak normally? But no, I do know who you are. You're Nepthet-Ka, right?
Intriguing it is, that thou art acquainted with my name. It appeareth that thou dost not merely possess strength of arm, but also of mind. Indeed, I am Nepthet-Ka, once vassal to Anubis, now bound within this blade.
So what can I do for you?
Scattered and forsaken to the whims of time, my earthly remnants lie hidden. This steel prison, a cold and unyielding warden, holds fast my spirit. I beseech thee, Raarh, in thy strength and valor, to seek and reunite these lost fragments of my mortal being. By this deed, thou shalt bestow upon me the respite and liberation that epochs have denied.
Oh, I get it. You want me to find your bones and stuff and release you from the sword. I mean, sure, I'll do that for you, buddy. The only thing is, it will have to take a back burner for now, because we're in the middle of a whole bunch of shit. So I'll have to take care of this first. Then, sure, I'll bring you back.
Raarh, thy willingness to aid me in my plight fills this age-worn spirit with gratitude. In the ancient bonds of camaraderie, I recognize thy current trials and tribulations, and I shall abide patiently, as time is a companion I have long known. Know this, with each fragment of my scattered remnants that thou dost recover, I shall grant unto thee a portion of my power. As I inch closer to liberation, so too shall my ability to aid thee in thy quest to grow stronger. Our fates, intertwined by destiny's hand, shall see us both achieve our ends.
Ooh, more power? So you're telling me you will be able to do more than what you currently can?
What thou currently wields, Raarh, is but a mere fraction of the might that lies dormant within me. As thou dost venture forth, bringing balance to the scales in our shared quest, remain steadfast and loyal in thy endeavors to reunite my scattered essence. As each fragment is returned to me, so shall my power grow, awakening from its long slumber. The full extent of my strength, forged in the ancient fires and honed by the passage of countless ages, shall become thine to command. In our unity of purpose, thou shalt witness the true might of Nepthet-Ka, a force unparalleled, ready to stand beside thee in the face of all adversities.
And for argument's sake, if I, forgot about this quest or just decided not to do it, what would happen then?
I like you, Raarh. But shouldst thou choose to forsake our pact, or let the sands of time erode thy resolve, remember this. The very essence of power and life are deeply entwined like roots beneath the earth. Both can be bestowed generously, and both can be retracted with equal measure. As I am bound to thee, so too is the fate of my power entwined with thy actions. Abandon this path, and thou risks not only the waning of the strength I offer, but also the ire of a spirit long bound to servitude and silence. For in the balance of all things, actions and inactions carry their own weight and consequences.
Got it. Don't screw you over, or you'll fuck me up. Noted.
It's at this point, Raarh, you hear another voice speak up.
Hey, Raarh, who you talking to, mate? You been sitting there chattering away to yourself. You ain't gone barmy on us, have ya? Or is there some sneaky ghost or spirit whispering in your ear?
Huh? You're telling me you can't hear him?
Ooh, ghosts! So you really yapping away with a ghost? Blimey, Raarh! I don't like ghosts, not one bit! You know, back in the Horde, they used to tell stories about ghosts that'd snatch you up if you weren't careful. Whispering voices leading gobbos into dark caves, never to be seen again. Or worse, ghosts that trick you into thinking they're your long-lost pals, only to turn you into a ghost too. And let me tell you, nothing's more unsettling than a ghost that moans and groans all night, keeping you awake. Tried stuffing moss in me ears once, didn't work. They say some ghosts are just lonely, but I say, find someone else to haunt. I've got enough problems without dealing with the undead moaning about their ghostly woes and unfinished business. Gives me the creeps. It does.
Right, well, that's good to know. Anyway, Mr. Nepthet, I'm going to get some rest now.
The voice of Nepthet Ka doesn't respond to you.
Oh, well, it seems like he's gone now, Gobba, so I'll be getting some rest.
Good, good. No ghosts is the way Gobba likes it.
He shuffles his feet, glancing around as if expecting a ghostly apparition to appear at any moment. Then, with a hesitant and almost sheepish tone, Gobba looks up at you, Raarh.
Raarh, can I maybe sleep a bit closer to you tonight? You know, just in case that ghosty fella decides to come back. Not that I'm scared or nothing. But, two's better than one when it comes to ghost watching, right?
Gobba, we're literally all packed together in a dome. I don't think you could get any closer to me if you tried, but sure, go right ahead. Just don't be dribbling on me or nibbling on my arm, because that shit ain't gonna slide.
Yeah, no nibblings or dribblings, I promise. Thank you, Raarh. You won't even know I'm there.
And with that, Raarh, you finally manage to drift off to sleep. Gobba nestled up next to you almost like a lapdog or a pet cat seeking comfort and security. As dawn breaks, the gentle sounds of nature stir you all from your slumber. The tweeting of birds, the rustling of leaves, and the soft caress of the morning breeze create a serene backdrop as you open your eyes to a new day. The light filters through the trees, casting dappled shadows across the group. You stretch and yawn, shaking off the remnants of sleep. So, what do you guys want to do?
Full steam ahead then, guys. I want us to be at that Goblin camp by the end of today. Gobba, do you think it's possible?
Sure, it'll be possible, boss. But we gotta be quick about it. Real quick. Move like the wind, we will. And let's just make sure we don't get slowed down by any, ghosts or such.
That seems oddly specific. Why would we get slowed down by ghosts?
Yeah, Gobba, there's no reason we would get slowed down by ghosts. Stop being silly.
Well, I mean, it's a possibility, isn't it? After all...
Gobba, I'm afraid you might not have understood me. I said stop being silly.
Oh, damn. Roll an intimidation check for me, Raarh.
That's a 22 total, Joe.
Oh, right, Raarh. Just pulling your leg I was. Nothing but a little goblin humor, eh? I meant to... like jokey ghosts, the spooky kind in stories. Not that we've seen any of those, no, sir. Just a bit of fun is all. We'll be speedy. No ghostly dawdling or anything of the sort. Straight to the Goblin camp, quick as you like.
Well, that was fucking weird.
When are either of them not weird?
All right, Joe, we head out. Full speed ahead toward the Goblin camp.
I'm going to need someone taking the lead on a perception check. Gobba will be taking the lead on the survival check unless someone else wants to.
No, we will just let Gobba do it. It's his whole thing after all.
I'll do the perception check, Joe. That's a 17 total.
As you all follow Gobba navigating through the wild terrain, you remain vigilant, your senses attuned to any signs of danger or ambush. The journey takes you through dense woodlands, across trickling streams, and over rugged hills. The rustling leaves and occasional animal calls are the only sounds accompanying your steady march. For hours, your trek continues uneventfully, the anticipation of what lies ahead growing with every step. Then about 8 hours into your journey, as you crest over a hill, the landscape opens up to reveal a sight both imposing and chaotic. Before you sprawls an enormous outpost, a once mighty fort now defiled and grotesquely reconstructed in true goblin fashion. The remnants of the fort's former glory are evident in the crumbling walls and battered towers, but these have been overlaid with ramshackle structures, crudely fashioned from scavenged materials and littered with goblin kind. The goblin horde is teeming with activity. Hundreds of goblins scurry about, some sharpening weapons, others arguing or brawling. Makeshift watchtowers and defensive barricades dot the perimeter, manned by keen-eyed goblins on the lookout. You notice wargs, the fierce and oversized wolves prowling the grounds or lazily lounging in the sun. Among the throng, you spot a few larger creatures, ogres, unmistakable in their size and brutish demeanor, lumbering through the camp or barking orders at the smaller goblins. The fort has become a hive of goblin life, a center of power for the horde, and a testament to their ability to claim and corrupt what was once a symbol of order and strength.
So how do you want to approach this?
Well, you can have a little think on how you want to proceed, and you'll also want to take some time to think about what you want to take your next level into, because you're now level 6.
Hell yeah.
And that's where we will wrap up this session. Try not to discuss too many things until next week, because it'll be fun to see all your planning caught on camera. See you later, guys.